Hello, this is Coach Mike from winningstockcoach.com. Going to start with my market overview for the upcoming trading week, the week beginning February 23rd, 2015. Over the past couple weeks, we saw a little bit of consolidation on the markets in the last couple weeks with this little bit of an up move. We talked about that preliminary target area 210104, and we did close just above that this past week. That would very easily have us looking at more upside, 2231.37 now. And our support level that we want to use, because I believe that if we're going to make a move to that 2231.37, it'd be a bit of a breakout play, momentum type trade. We want to use a closing support of 2088.77, this last weekly swing high point here. Should it falter from that, I think you just kind of got to let it chill out and dip down off of this high point of that month-long consolidation we had. But should it do that too, you get a good entry point. And really, I would say our downside at this point would only be to that 2051.82. I think that's what we'd have to really watch out for right now. Pretty much the same thing goes for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You see my DJI chart up here. We closed just above that primary or preliminary support that we had, or preliminary resistance we had, or target point, and we could really be looking at 19,286. And really that same deal goes with our support point right now, 18,053.71. And I don't really see any need to look further down on the DJI right now than 17,164. That'd be about it for the downside that I would see. Once we get there, we could talk about a little bit more as to where it could project to. But as of right now, last week closed above that weekly swing high point, new all-time high close. So we've got to be looking towards the upside with a really tight stop here. So not too difficult at all to try to trade. Now over to the RUT, the Russell 2000 Small Cap Index. It's nearing that preliminary target we had, 1238.23. Yeah, I had a decent week a few weeks back, but just kind of really trying to inch it out now. I really think that you let this one kind of go right now. You wait for a pullback over the next few weeks. So about that 1215.21 is where I would be looking for small caps and the RUT at. So I think just the way that it traded this past week, I think you get a little more upside, but if you're not already in it, the upside is not worth the downside risk. So you just kind of look at the big boys, the large caps, mega caps in this upcoming week, because I really think those are going to show us something. And finally, over to the NDX, the NASDAQ 100. We talked about this last week, how we got that close above the weekly swing high. And we talked about the momentum trade carrying it forward to 47.23.71. It actually looks like we are continuing in exactly what we talked about last week. Apple had a big week last week. That's one of these NDX stocks. And really what we just need to look for right now is when the momentum dies off, when the volume starts to die off, it could give you a little bit of a pullback anytime. If you're not in one of them NASDAQ stocks that's been breaking out and running hard on volume, then you really need to just kind of be a little bit relaxed. See if you get an opportunity on a bounce that holds 43.37.78 for the NDX, and that would be the area, this last weekly swing high point, that if you get a bounce that holds that point to play the secondary bounce off of it, that I would have to go with. Very, very simple with the markets this week, though. We closed above those target points that we've talked about the last few weeks when for about a month and a half, 2 months now, the markets were a little bit wishy-washy, a little bit of consolidation. And last week and this past week, we got the type of moves that no longer should leave us in doubt. New all-time high closes, that's a higher high. We've got to just kind of focus on where our support is and look for long trades. This is Coach Mike from winningstockcoach.com, keeping it kind of short and sweet this week simply because the charts are showing us that it doesn't need to be made into anything complicated. Best of luck in your trading this week, and God bless.